Szívesen mozol. Folytatom neked a Star Wars Operation Hotlet Chapter 4. Nothing was going right. Ventress, the vulture droid. Ahsoka blamed herself for it all. Maybe she wasn't ready to be a Jedi after all. It didn't matter if Ahsoka was ready or not, though. The vulture droid was too busy shooting. The vulture droid was shooting at her and Anakin. R2-D2 got knocked off of the platform and fell into the jungle as Rata wailed. I wish you were home too, Anakin said to Rata, who was now being carried by the Jedi. Suddenly, Ahsoka got a lucky slice in on the vulture droid. Her lightsaber cut through its wing like butter. The droid howled and swung its other leg. It knocked her to the edge of the platform. She screamed, "Ah!" dangling helplessly over the edge. The Jedi were in trouble, all right. Anakin couldn't get a hold of the clone troopers on his communication device. Ahsoka was about to get squashed by the vulture droid. Even R2-D2 was in danger. But Anakin wasn't going to leave this Padawan hanging there. With a yell, he attacked the vulture droid. Ahsoka's eyes went wide as she watched. Her master seemed to be invincible. In a minute, the droid lay in pieces on the ground. Good distraction, Snipes, Anakin said. Let me guess, you meant to do that? Snips, Ahsoka thought. Is that his new nickname for me? Heck, distraction? I cut his wing off, Ahsoka said. Give R2 a hand, Anakin said, ignoring her. I'll see if we can get a transport. Anakin started fiddling with his communicator. Ahsoka huffed, but helped R2-D2 onto the platform. Gigantic dragonflies from the jungle had been poking him, but she scared them away. R2-D2 beeped, thanking her. You're welcome, R2, Ahsoka said. At least someone here appreciates my help. Anakin was too busy to respond. He couldn't get through to anybody. That was bad enough. But then twin red lightsabers began cutting through the door to the temple. Ventress was coming back. The Jedi were trapped. Anakin and Ahsoka yelled orders at each other, but Rata squealed. The Padawan looked to where the Hotlet was pointing. Off in the distance, a starship sat on another landing platform, but a mile of the jungle lay between it and the Jedi. How are we going to make it? Ahsoka said. Like this, Anakin said, and he jumped off the platform with Rata on his back. Ahsoka's mouth dropped, but before she could do anything, the doors flung open. Ventress stormed out, eyes flaming. Where is Skywalker? She snarled. Ahsoka couldn't answer. Her lips were trembling. Here, Anakin yelled as he flew in on one of the dragonflies. Ventress was too surprised to do anything. So, Ahsoka jumped off the platform before the assassin could get them. In a flash, Anakin had grabbed Ahsoka and the dragonfly. The dragonfly soared off with R2-D2 jetting along beside them. Rata burped in Ahsoka's face just as she settled in for the fight. I miss you too, Ahsoka said, and the strange thing was, she kind of did. Rata depended on her. So did the entire Republic. The dragonfly flew toward the starship, and Ahsoka tried to keep her grip. Ahsoka in Benett. Chapter 5. It was a long way on the back of that dragonfly, but everybody made it in one piece. They were not out of the jungle yet. The ship on the platform looked like it could barely fly. R2-D2 bleeped, worried. "Boop, boop, boop, boop. We'd better be off on that big bug," Ahsoka said, but they didn't have much of a choice. Anakin ordered Ahsoka to start up the engines. He went to make sure everything was safe. What he didn't know was that the freighter was not empty. As Ahsoka opened the doors, several droids popped out and started firing. Ahsoka had learned a lot, however, just by watching her master. With a few chops of her lightsaber, their circuits were sparking all over the ground. She rushed into the ship, with Anakin and R2-D2 right behind her. "Now, let's get this thing started up," Anakin said. He sat down in the pilot's seat and turned on the engine. Or he tried to. Ahsoka sighed. "Great. What more could go wrong?" "Relax, Snips," Anakin said. He and R2-D2 went to work. This dragonfly. Here's Ahsoka, Rada, and Anakin. They tried to keep Rada from getting any sicker. He was not looking good at all. Soon, though, the ship roared to life and blasted off. As the ship tore into the sky, Ahsoka turned to Anakin. "Master, today I did my best to stay calm and focused," she said. Anakin didn't say anything, but he smiled a bit. "When I did, everything seemed so easy." Anakin was about to say something when, crack! A blast hit the ship. "Well, things just got a lot harder," Anakin said. Tons of separatist ships were closing in on the Jedi. Ahsoka huffed. She had been so close to getting her master to open up. Anakin had to focus on flying, and wow, was he good. He did loops, spins, and anything he could think of to get them out of range of the separatists. If I could ever be half as good as him, Ahsoka thought, that would be enough for me. But the ship was still too heavy to escape. The Jedi had to make it to Jabba's home on Tatooine. Luckily, Anakin's Padawan had an idea and ran off down halfway in the ship. "Ahsoka, wait!" Anakin shouted, but she was already gone. Ahsoka rushed back into the cargo bay. Just like she thought, junk and boxes crowded the entire room. Ahsoka opened up the bay doors as Anakin rolled the ship. Everything in there flew out. Ahsoka watched it as it all smashed into the ships behind them. Problem solved. Ahsoka rushed back up to the cockpit and told Anakin about what she did. "You could have just opened the doors from here," Anakin said, pointing to the control panel. Ahsoka shrugged, then changed the subject. "You grew up on Tatooine, right?" Ahsoka said, trying to get him to talk. "So for you, this trip is like going home." "Yeah, home," Anakin repeated. His eyes glazed over. He was lost in thought. What about Tatooine? Ahsoka wasn't going to get anything out of him. She sighed and searched for some medical supplies to help Rada. Ahsoka began to worry that she was never going to please her master. The ship jumped into hyperspace. The Jedi were safe. For a little bit. Who knew what was waiting for them on Tatooine? Phew.